What's up, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install a front wheel hub. If you're having any issues and problems with it, we're going to show you guys how to get it going. So let us get into it. Welcome, guys, to the channel. If you guys have not seen me or checked me out, please go down, like and subscribe, check some of my other videos. I do a lot of cool self-helping videos for you guys and how to fix things. But today, we're going to be on my 2012 Ford F-150. We're going to be replacing the front driver's side wheel hub. We had some issues with it. We'll talk about the issues that we had and what I feel like I need to change it just to help it make it run a little better. But without further ado, let me show you guys what we got. Okay, so we're going to come to the fix-it table. As I have not mentioned, I have cleaned up my garage a little bit. Got some parts here. You guys need some parts, let me know. I got some parts here. I got tons and tons of parts. I got hubs. I got side mirrors. I got everything. So if you guys need some parts, please let me know. Shoot me a comment and let me know what kind of vehicle you got and what I have, and I can tell you what I got. But we're focusing on the truck today. So we come to the fix-it table. So we got our wheel hubs. They are from A Premium. I ordered these off of eBay. They are really, really cool. I have some A Premium hubs down here for an F-150 of my year as well, but they are for four-wheel drive. I have a two-wheel drive. So this is the hub here. It's really beefy and huge and big, as you can see. Nice and stylish. I got 6 lugs. It's all there. And it also comes with a whole new harness that we have to replace. It already has the wheel sensor already in it, as you can see right there. We could probably open it up a little bit so you can see it. There is the wheel sensor right there. It's already in play. If you didn't have the wheel sensor, you could just unbolt the old one and stick it in there. I have no problems with my wheel sensors on there, but since it comes brand new, we're going to be using that. And then as you see, this is the back side. This is where the bearing all sits in. So, and as you see, there's no center because this is two-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive. And I can show you the difference between the two. Let's see here. So this is the same one, but this is a four-wheel drive. See, it's got the same 16 lugs, but here's the difference. See, this is two-wheel drive. This is four-wheel drive. So as you see, it doesn't go all the way through. It doesn't have a nut like a traditional, hub would have, where you'd have on the front, you'd have a nut. This just slides in. So as you see, you would actually have a drive shaft that would go in the hole, and then these gears would sit inside of a housing to turn, let you know it's got four-wheel drive. Now, this probably could fit my truck if I was in a pinch. Let's just say hypothetically, they didn't make these or they weren't in stock and you really needed one. You might be able to get away with adding this on here, but I don't know. It's the same diameter. It does fit. So I could actually get away with just having it, but no four-wheel drive. The only thing I would be worried about is that if the sensor inside is looking for four-wheel drive, it may throw off the actual two-wheel drive one. I wouldn't think so, because this is just a wheel speed sensor to allocate the speed of the vehicle and make sure it's going right. I don't think it would allocate four-wheel drive, you know what I mean? But it is here. I do have it for sale. I have 2 of them down there. No one seems to have bought them yet, but they do go on the same year. I just don't have four-wheel drive. I got two-wheel drive. So, and I think one of the guys, he said that he did try to make it work, but he said something about this ring here compared to this ring here was different. And I think it's just because of the sticking out part, because if you have a four-wheel drive truck, you're going to be expecting this part here, where two-wheel doesn't. It just has a little somewhat of a cap kind of thing to seal in the bearings and stuff like that, where this one has a cap with a bearing, but it also has a sprocket on the outside to help probably with the four-wheel drive when it gets locked in and you're actually using four-wheel drive, which that would make sense. This is like the teeth gears, so when you're not using four-wheel drive, it's just spinning, but then when you actually are, it actually will lock it and be able to use it. So something like that, but that's okay. So we'll put this away. But we're focused on this one. I just wanted to show you the difference between the two. And we'll put this away. Got that goes there. All right, now we're going to focus on this. So I do have two. I did buy two because it was cheaper to buy two of them instead of one. It just made sense. And if the passenger side does go out, I do have a second one in tow. That way I can just replace it and not have to worry about ordering one. But I could have just ordered just the driver's side, but I figured I'd splurge a little bit extra and get the second one. I could do both at the same time, but the passenger side one is fine. I have no issues, no anything. But if it does happen, you start hearing grinding noise, or I'm starting to feel like maybe I should go ahead and replace it, I do have the second one there. But right now we're going to focus on the first one because that is where my concern, a little bit issue is. I have been hearing some grinding noise, so we will go assess that, and I think that will help with the way it's going to be running as well. So yeah, those are pretty much what we got going. That's why I got the two. I got a good price for two. I got it off of Amazon. I can put a link in the description to show you guys what I got, where I got them from, as well. I'm only going to do the driver's side because that side is the concerning part. Because in my previous video, I believe I talked about it, but if I didn't, I'll bring you guys up to speed. So I had my brakes done. I did my brakes, but I didn't bleed them properly. I believe I talked about it, but I didn't bleed them properly. So I basically had a little issue on the driver's side towards the end. It started basically getting like brake sticking, and it heated it up. So I've been driving it, trying to fix it, bleed it, chew all the changes. But I've been driving it around when it was hot. But before I did get the brakes changed, I did kind of somewhat hit the curb going around the bend, and I kind of hit the curb, got a little too close to the curb, and I kind of hit it pretty hard. I was going kind of at a fast speed, trying to make it through the light, but I didn't seem like at the time it was a big thing. But then as I started driving, there's some kind of issue with the vibration going. But then I went ahead and changed the brakes, and then I had the caliper sticking, and that caused that side to heat up really bad, almost to it was hot to the touch, hotter than it needed to be. So it took me a while to finally get the figuring out what the issue was, and then I finally fixed it. Now it's running great. It's not heating up anymore, but the hub is making some kind of a grindy, minor, small, clinky noise. It's not very loud enough to hear it. You'd have to hear it when you're right there spinning it. But I think driving wise, you wouldn't hear it because you got so much other ambient noises around it. But when you're spinning it, you can hear it, and you can hear the grindy noise. You can hear a little small clunk, just a tiny ambient small clunk. And I've been reading and watching forums, and some people would say that sometimes when the brakes get stick and all that, and generating a lot more heat than it normally would, it can get transferred to the hub, and causing it to get hot and raise the temperature and stuff like that. So just because I hit the curb and the heat, I feel like, in the grinding noise I'm hearing and some of the ambient noises, I'm thinking that I'm probably going to go ahead. That's the reason why I want to replace it. And it's just for good, repairable thing, and simple, easy to replace the hub, get back on the road. You should be good to go. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to go out there right now. It's cold. It's a cold Friday morning. So we're going to go ahead and get that in there. So let's get set up and take you guys out there. All right, guys. So we got everything straight. I got the jack holding in place, but I do have a jack stand over here. I just have the jack holding there for extra strength to hold it. I mean, it's not going anywhere. I got a jack holding on to it, but I like having the jack sitting there just in case something happens. If it comes down, at least the jack can give me some time to get away from it before it falls. All right, so make sure you take your lugs off, your cap, your lugs, all your six. Get your wheels off. All right, let me get our wheel off. All right. Sit down. Get our stuff out of the way. All right, we're good. Before we get started, what I like to do is I want to take the negative terminal off, because if we turn the negative terminal off, if there's any short or anything while we're doing any electrical work, it won't short anything out. It may not throw in, hopefully won't throw a code or anything like that. Now, normally, as you know me before, I would take my jumper and jump them. I'm not doing that this time. Only reason why I liked doing that was just I had some issues with the Cadillac and I liked resetting it because it always seemed to run better when I did it. But this runs really good, so I don't need to. So that's fine. So what we're going to do is push that down right there so it doesn't touch anything, and then we'll put it back on when we're done. So now we're gonna go ahead and get the caliper off. All right, guys, so we're gonna get this caliper off so we can get to our hub, which is right here. So we're gonna start with the center caliper. So we got a 14 up top and a bottom. Just take your bolts off and just take the caliper off, set it to the side. You have wire ties or bungee cords, I highly recommend it. I don't have any. I need to get some. I've been stressing I should get some. So we'll definitely get some for future. But if you don't, nice tall jack stand will always work just fine. All right, so we're gonna take off our brake. So now we're going to get our big boys off. No, hang on. I always do this every time. All right, so we're going to take our big bolts on the back. It's a 316. All right, hold on. I'm using a 13/16 and a breaker bar. So this is a pretty cool breaker bar. So I got this from Harbor Freight. It actually, you pull it and extends out as much as you need, and then it locks in place with this little locker, and then you just pull and it drops right back down to where you need it. So it's a really cool tool I got from Harbor Freight. I highly recommend getting a breaker bar. If not, you can use conventional tools and an open end wrench, but sometimes that always doesn't ever work. So so take it. I actually need to relocate so I can get some leverage. Get your caliper thing off, or get your caliper brace off. All right, set this to the side. All right, we're going to get our rotor off. And then now we get access to our hub. So it's not too bad. I can push it, but I don't know if you can hear it. Let me see if you guys can hear this or not. So listen to it as I'm spinning it. You guys hear that? There's like a crunchy grind in there. All right, so now that we've shown you that, what we're gonna do is we're going to spray this with some PB Blaster. Try to see if we can get on all 4 of these bolts. So there's 4 bolts. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4, holding it in place. Then we have this wheel sensor line that goes all the way up that we're going to disconnect. So while we're waiting, we're going to go ahead and let this soak. Hopefully this will help us out. And we'll get some on the back bolts here. So we'll let those soak. And while we're letting those soak, we'll go ahead and start getting this line off. So basically it's a wheel sensor line. We got it bolted here. It's snapped into here, so we can just take this out right now. So that's out. We gotta get this bolt out, this clip, and then it's up on top. So take our, is it a 9 or 8? It's an 8. So what we're gonna do is take our 8mm wrench and socket, just get it off. Nice long bolt. Get that bolt out. Take the bolt, put it back in so we don't forget where it goes or lose it. Now we got this out the way. Let's see if I can take my pliers. All right, we got a plier one there. So we just pulled out this one, which went right here. Then there's one more right here. Careful not to hit your brake line. Just get a nice good grip. If you have these little prior tools, that also helps too. But just get a nice good grip and wiggle it as best you can. Alright, this one we're going to have to get the pliers on. But we'll get the needle nose pliers, and then we'll get that ripped out, and then we'll go to the top. Alright guys, so we got it out. Got out my needle nose pliers. It goes here, and then the other one goes right here. So there's that one, there's that one, and then right here is where it gets bolted, and then this gets clamped onto there, goes all the way down. There's a sensor. Like I said, this sensor is not bad. You could reuse it if you really wanted to, but there's a new one. So I would say hindsight, I wouldn't discard this sensor. I would take it off. If it's been working with you fine, keep it, because you never know if this may get ripped or destroyed. maybe it gets frayed, maybe you hit something when you're off-road or driving the road and it rips it off, you will have a spare sitting in place. That way you don't have to go reorder a whole new hub just for a wheel sensor cable. So it's a good idea that if this is working out and the only thing that's bad is this, and you're only replacing it because it's making some grinding noise or it's seizing up, but the sensor's not giving you any issues, keep the sensor. Keep parts that you need. Don't just discard it and throw it away, because this is a perfectly good sensor line that you're just literally just throwing away because of the hub. So if you can get this bolt out, definitely keep it. So let's go and get it unplugged. All right, guys. So basically, you see that cable, the one below with the little red and white, that's the driver's side wheel sensor. So you're going to do is you're going to take that red tab, pull it off, and then separate it. I would try to do it while I got it, but I can't get in a good position to get the camera. So I'm holding it right now, just showing you where it is. So there's the braided line going down to the actual brake, but that is the sensor. So you just unsnap it, separate it, and then you have to pop out that little white tab that's holding it on, and then you're good to go. So I'm gonna take this off, and then we're going to, after this, we're gonna go ahead and try and get those bolts off. So I just wanted to show it to you because I can't get my camera in here. I don't have any way to mount it so you can see what I'm doing. All right, guys, we got it out. Here, let me show you. All right, so we got it all out. Here's the cable. It's actually literally right here. So this is actually the harness, and it just plugs in right here. I thought there was a white tab, but it was just tape. So we just pull this down, get it out of the way, and then boom, there we go. But yeah, it's right here on mine, the two-wheel drive. This is the harness is literally right up under. You could probably get your hand up under there, but it's really a pain because there's another little connector that's really big that's sitting right over top of this. I'll show it to you when we get it back on. But yeah, it's a little bit of a pain. You got to get in there to get to it, but it is, once you get it, it's easy to get off. So now we're gonna go ahead and try and see if we can get these off. Okay, guys, so we are basically gonna get this off. We're using a 18mm on all four corners. My trusty handy duty breaker bar. This is one of those times where you actually do want one. Doing a DIY breaker bar probably wouldn't work if you don't have enough oomph. So let's go and see. All right, that's one. So right now I'm just going to try and break them, just so that way we can use a wrench to get them off. So all right, that one's a little tough. And I don't have enough clearance room. Oh wait, hold on. Hang on, I'm gonna have to do a lift. Here we go. Whew. All right, got that loose. This one's going to be the fun part because we're going to go down instead of up. All right, let me reposition you guys. Okay, guys, before we get this off, there's one more thing I wanted to do. Remember I said if this isn't bad, keep it? So we are going to keep it. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to get it off. So we're going to, it's a little star pattern. It's a little, looks like it's a T20 hex head bolt. Just a little T20. So we're just going to get this off real quick before we take the whole thing off. All right, nice and easy. Easy peasy. All right, so get this bolt out of here. And then take our flathead and just ever so gently just get it rised up. Get it up, get it under there best as you possibly can. Let's get this cable out. There we go. Boom. We could clean it up and keep it. So it's really quite interesting. So this is a sensor. This is a sensor right here, and then it's just there's some teeth gears inside that it just rides over. This is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with this. I would highly recommend keeping this. Some people would wonder, why would you keep it and just go get another one? But there's really nothing wrong with this. This will save you some money. I'm not for sure how much this would cost, but if you just need just this instead of the hub, maybe the hub went bad or this got ripped out on your new one, you got another one to replace it, and then you're back in business. So we're gonna hold on to this and keep this. You don't have to do it. It's just something that I like to do. So we're gonna go ahead and start getting this out. So here's my special tool. It's nothing special. Some people would pry, some people would tap. I could probably tap it and get away with it. It just depends on how stuck this is on. So we'll just try and tap it just for giggles to see if it works. Naturally, it doesn't. So we're gonna tap it from the back. It's on there, so give it a nice good whack. Not hit your caliper. Alright, she's on there pretty good, which is to be expected. It's been on here. This is probably the OE original. It takes a little bit of oomph. So, nice good whack should probably do it. Yep, she's on there. Like I said, it's to be expected. I don't know if I take this off, would I have enough room? I'm thinking about taking off this dust shield so I can hit it on all four corners and then try to get it going. Sometimes you can pry it, that might work, but we might need some more lube. So let's give it to it. Alright, so we'll let this sit for about an hour or so, and then we'll come right back. Alright guys, so we're going to stop right there. We're going to stop, really and honestly, because the hub won't come off. It's fused on there so good that even with the bolts off, it still won't come off. I've pounded it. I even tried putting the nuts on there and trying to tap it and see if that would push it off. Nothing. There's only one tool that is available. There's only one tool that you can get to get this particular hub off, because it doesn't have a center. So, you know, most of them are more center pull. You can push it, you know, you mount it on the hub lugs, and then you push. You know, the little center would push it, but there's nothing to push because it's the center. It's all encased. So really and honestly, there's really no way of me to get it off except for me getting that tool. There's a tool where it mounts on the two lugs, and then it pushes on the actual control arm, the upper control arm. It pushes on that, and that's, you tighten it up with the lug nuts nice and tight. Then you hit the bolt pushing on the upper control arm, and that pushes it out. That's the only tool that will get this thing off. So we're gonna have to order it from Amazon, because that's the only place that has it online. Basically, you have to order online. There's no local store that has what I need to get that off with. So that's kind of a bummer. I wasn't expecting that. I think those are OEM. Nevertheless, it's on there pretty good. So we're gonna have to order the tool. We're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to come back. So let us get to when the tool comes, and then we'll try and get it off. So let's get to that. What's up, guys? Okay, so it's a couple of days later, and the tool finally came in for us to get this hub off. We are back where we were. I got everything back to where we stopped at. So I reassembled it, had to drive it, and then now we're right back where we were, right to the point of trying to get the hub off. Everything is just waiting to get that puller on. So let me show you what kind of puller that I got that I could find that makes this work. Okay, guys, so this is the hub puller. There were a lot of hub pullers online, but we needed one to work with our type of hub because in the center there is nothing to push. Most of the hubs I kept finding were the ones where you'd have a center nut and then you'd put a puller on the center and then you'd push on that center CV axle or whatever stud you'd have there, and it would push right off. Some you could bolt and you could just have a little slide pull, hammer puller, and do it that way. That would have probably worked if I could find the right one that would fit in the lugs. The slide hammer would have been one of the best ones because you could pound it out. But this one's pretty fused. This one's a little different. So the two lugs would go here, and then you'd have this little slider piece that goes in like so, goes in like there. Then you have some spacers that go for the lugs to hold it in place, and then you have this little slide piece tool that goes right in, and then you just crank down, and then once these are tight and you get this set where you want, then it just pulls everything right on out. So that's what we're going to be doing, getting this out. I already mocked it. It looks like it's gonna hopefully work. Hopefully this will get it all off. So let's go get it mounted and let's give it a try. Okay guys, we're gonna go for this. All right, so I'm gonna get two lug nuts here off my back side. All right, so we're gonna go it based off of I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Let me lift you up. All right there. All right, so we're gonna probably shoot for this area here because it's nice and solid. Could go here, but I don't want to mess this up. This looks like a nice, good, solid spot to go. So here's how this works. So you get it over the two that you want, right? You get your washers, take your lugs, get them all nice and tight. We're going to turn this up, take this end here, get it started. Make sure you don't crush your sensor, so as we're pushing it, we'll move it out of the way so it doesn't get pinched when we start tightening it up. So right now we're cranking it down. And get you guys in there so you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. So you want to make sure it gets it right here. All right, it's nice and tight. So now this is, let's get it back here so you can see me. All right, so this end here takes a 7/8. So we'll just take our wrench and start cranking, and hopefully this will come off. Let's get it in a better spot. This is actually going to walk on us here. Yeah, it's going to start walking. Yep. Okay. Let's get it in a better spot, shall we? Good idea, but let's try that. Let's try this spot. All right, what we need to get it in a good spot because this is going to walk on us. So I think I got an idea. Hold on. We'll be right back. I think I got an idea. Okay, guys, we're back. We found the spot. So we just moved it down below because it can't go any further now that it's locked up. So now all we got to do now is just crank and then wait for this thing to come pop it off. So let's go ahead and get you guys in. I'm going to have to get a little more leverage. See if we get you guys in a good spot. That's probably a good spot. So you can watch it separate. You see it's getting right here and it's hitting this little spot. It can't go anymore because the problem was having it was this walking on me. And then here was walking, but here it can't go any further because it's hitting this spot. So we're gonna try and crank it and hopefully it'll push it out. I may have to use my my breaker bar to give me a little oomph, but we'll give it a try. Let's get this tire. All right, let's get our crank and see how it works. All right, I'm hitting you guys. I'll slide you over just a little bit. Slowly but surely. Nothing yet. Nothing. Turn the wheel, I know that. Nothing yet. Oh, it's separating. Yep, I see it separating here at the bottom. I can see some light through. We may have to reconvert it to the top. All right, I think we might be stuck. Oh, no, there it goes. Yep, I see it moving. I hope you guys can see that. Yep. See right here? See it's getting a little bit more space. So it is coming off. I may have to reconfigure it to the top, but let's keep it going with this one. Oh, there it goes. Oh yeah. All right, let's relax it a little bit because I do start to see it crack. I don't want to break it any. Well, let's keep going. We'll keep going with some more. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna bring it back. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move this to the top. Since we kind of got it breaking loose, we're going to hopefully see this doesn't walk on us. Hopefully. Actually, hold on a sec. Let's bring this in just a little bit more. So we're going to switch it to the other side. Yeah, that's probably not going to work. Yep, right here. That'll work. All right. Yep, there it goes. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. Yes. The bottom's coming. So is the top a little bit. Yep, there we go. Whew. Yes. All right, the tops and the corners are separated. It's just this spot here that hasn't. So we're gonna break it up again. All right, we're gonna rotate it back to the top. All right, just gotta find a way to get this thing to not start walking on us. Hold on, we'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back. So I got my long breaker impact bar crossing over the thread to lock it in place so we can get to this final top, because that's what's really holding us up. So basically this area, everything around this on the other side has been cracked except for this area here, and the only problem is I'm having a problem is this thing keeps walking on me. So here we go. I just needed to break the rusted seal, and then we should be in business. Oh, here it comes. All right, it's coming out nice and smooth, actually. All right, we're just gonna keep on cranking until this thing comes out. Hope you guys can see that. Yep. See how it's nice and coming out now? All right, let's loosen it up. All right, now we're gonna rotate this bottom one to get the bottom to come out. It's coming though, just gotta rock it because it's so forced in there. All right, I think we're good. I think we can probably try to hammer the rest of it the way out. So let's try and do that. Take these lug nuts off. Take this off. There we go. Whew. Got her out. All right, so let's sit you back in here for a sec. Don't fall. There. Whew. We got it, guys. She is out. All right, so now we just gotta get the lines off. I forgot to take those off. Really simple right here. And separates right there. And then everything just kind of braids cables out and then pull it apart. She is out. Look how rusted that was, guys. It's like it should not have been that seized in there, but it's seized, but we got it out. That tool was amazing. Whew. Look at the carnage of rust in there. We're gonna have to clean that up really good. So no problem. We got some stuff. I got a brush to clean that up. So then we'll get my power brush tool and we'll clean this all up. Okay, so we're gonna get our little tool and clean this up. It is really rusted, this whole entire thing is, but we'll try and clean it up as best we can. And we're probably gonna put some anti-seize over the back part here and inside, so hopefully that it won't do that again. So let's go ahead and get this all cleaned up. Okay guys, so we got it nice and cleaned out, got all the rust off as much as we can. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this area and this back area with some anti-seize, so that way when we stick the new one in, we shouldn't have a problem getting it out. Probably wasn't original, but whenever it had been replaced, it probably only been replaced one time. So it definitely doesn't have the FOMO coat, because actually if you look right here, you can see it. This is a little rusted, but it is FOMO coat on here. So so yeah. So but we're gonna go ahead and get this all covered up with some anti-seize, and then we will go ahead and get our new hub in. So let us go ahead and do that right now. Yeah, I don't think anybody has ever had this issue. I don't think I've ever seen anybody put any anti-seize in here, and it really wouldn't hurt to put some in here. Some people would just, I think I've seen most people just clean it and then just that's it. But I don't want this thing to just freeze up anymore. So I'm gonna put just a little bit of anti-seize up in here, and I'm gonna put it on the back side here, just so it doesn't stick, because I literally had a hard time getting this thing off. Like I said, I don't know how long this has been on here, but I do know that it was rusted on, fused, and it took a lot of oomph to break that rust seal. If you think welded steel is strong, try rusted steel. Like it actually is fused from metal to metal and then rusting in between. It is actually quite strong. I probably could have rode without the bolts on there and it probably wouldn't have broke. It probably would have broke, but I'm not going to test that theory to find out. But it was on there pretty good. I hammered it like crazy trying to pound it off, and it did not come off hammering it. But once I broke that rusted seal, then it came off with no problem. That is a good tool, guys. If you have not seen that tool or heard of that tool, I will put a link in the description of that tool, so that way you can get it, because it is a perfect tool. And the reason why is because, as you see, there's no center. So normally you'd put your little let me get your turn here. Normally you get your little tool over these lugs and then push in the center. There's no center. So we'll go ahead and get this in and we'll get all set up. All right, so we are back. I gotta get this line cut. Okay. Good to go. All right. So, same concept. Get you guys out a little bit. All right, look. Same. The sensor goes on top, and then it just goes right on in. Yep, there it is. So, let me get you over a little bit. We'll go ahead and get our nuts started. Cinch them up by hand. We got one here. We got one here on up here. We got one down below. Nice and perfect. We're going to come back over here, and then we're going to go ahead and get our wiring all set up. Sorry, the sun's in the way. All right, so we'll go ahead and get our wiring going. So we got our nut here. Where is that nut? Oh, is that it? That's it. Where did I put that thing? There we go. So we're gonna go ahead and get our nut on. It'll go on. So hold on a sec. Guys, so here's a thing I just realized. So this is the actual clip for the new one, and this is the clip for the old one. You see the difference between the flarings? So there's no flarings on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this one off. We could just take some clips and break it, but I've kept the old one. So what we're going to do is we're just going to just pry this off. So it's simply just separating it, getting it off of that grommet, and then taking the old one and putting the old one back on. Because the problem we're having is it's not getting up into the hole here because of that extra tab on the end. So now that is in there just like that, and now it should fit in the hole because it goes on like this. It goes in like that, and the tab was stopping me from doing that, so I just replaced it and did it that way. So now we can go ahead and cinch this back up. So there's just some different odd things that's different from, I don't know if it's factory. That could be factory just because it fits so perfectly, and this one wasn't. I don't know, maybe they actually cut the clips off too, who knows. But we'll save this, and then we could just cut the clips off with some cutters or something and use it for later. But I'm going to use the original one, and I'm going to put this on the old one. We are going to keep the old harness wire of the hub just in case this line gets ripped, break, or cut, or whatever, we'll have an extra spare just in case. So let's go ahead and continue getting this all mounted. So yep, sure did. All right, so we're gonna get this up in the hole. Get this wired up here, get it up behind. One here, and one here. And then that'll be there for that. And then this actually goes into the, this right here will go into that clip there when we get the brake caliper back on. So, and as you see with the new hub, give it a listen. Notice you don't hear anything, right? Nice and smooth. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and tighten this up. Excuse the music in the background. Hopefully I don't get copywritten for that. I can't do anything about it, so. I'm outside, so I can't do anything about it. All right, we're gonna get this bolted. Let me go get the wrench, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and start torquing these up. It's 129 foot-pounds. So all right. All right, there it is. All right, there it is. I'm gonna get the bottom two. Okay. Where is that? It is. All right, it's a little tougher than I thought. Gotta give it a little. All right. All right, there's that one. All right. Whew. Whew. That is not easy, but we got it. All right, so that's torque to 129 foot-pounds. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put this shield back on. Get them all nice and lined up. All right. All right. Get that one. So there's one here, and then the other one is right here. Takes a little 8 millimeters to get them back up. So just get them on there, and we'll get it all cinched up. Get them all snug. You don't have to torque them. It's just a heat shield, but you want it torqued enough to where it's not going to come off. And the last one here. All right. We are good. And see how once that gets all broken in, it'll actually spin nice and free, which is good. I can do this with one hand. See? Nice and good. All right. So now we're gonna get our brake caliper back on, brakes real quick. But let me go get those greased up real quick, and then we'll be right back. Okay, guys. Now let's try to get this caliper back on. So get our bolts. Let's see if we can get this caliper on here. All right, got one here, another bolt. Okay, where did you go with it? Okay, now we got a bolt issue. The heck? That's weird. Hold on, guys. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're good on the bolts. Apparently, just one of them was very particular about which one I wanted to go into, but once I finally cleaned out the threads, and then it finally went, so I think it has some crud in there that was hanging it up. So we're good now. Got these all nice and bolted. Uh, this is actually spinning pretty good. Now we can go ahead and get the brakes and calipers back on. Alright, so we're gonna yet again clean these edges up again on the brakes. I got some, I found some chromatic lubricant that'll probably work a lot better, hopefully. So we're gonna clean these off. If there's any more left, we'll go ahead and lubricate up our little legs here. Give it some grease to ride on. Stuff here. Okay. Hopefully you guys are seeing me do this. Now we'll switch you guys around this way so you can see me. Alright, so now I'm just going to lube these up. Get them all nice and coated with some chromatic gaskets. All right, let's get these on. All right, now we will cut this line here and get our hub on, or get our caliper on. Okay, get our top one over here. All right, and now we can torque this up, or tighten this up. I'll get you guys back over here. All right, now we just go ahead and get this all tightened up. We're good. Let's get this thing turned. All right, we're good. Now, all we're gonna do, oh, forgot one more thing before we forget. Get this grommet piece. If it'll actually move. Oh, this will move. Get this last little piece. Don't forget this little piece right here goes to this little hook right here. So you just gotta slide it, and I don't know why this doesn't. Okay, that's fine. Slide this and insert that. And we'll just get that going in there, which it is. Looks good. All right, now all I gotta do now is we gotta hook up the this line here, get the wheel on, and then we're good. So let's go get the hook back up. Go in a star pattern, do 120 foot-pounds. All right, get the cover on. And we're good. The hood, and we'll take it for a ride. Okay, guys, so we're gonna take this for a spin, see how she does. Make sure we don't hear any noises. So let's give it a go. Brakes up good. All right. Not bad so far. Brakes feel really good. No hesitation with anything. Let's go get it out on the road and see how we do. Up real quick. So far, pretty good. I don't feel any hesitation. We'll wait till we get a little bit up to speed a little bit, and then we'll see how that goes. But so far, good. Even the brakes feel good because I re-greased them. I think I figured out why it was holding up a little bit, but it's on there. So, all right, let's get up to speed and see how this how the speed goes. See how the roll goes, because it should be free, like nice and smooth rolls. It should feel no hesitation. So I'm gonna get up to about 45 here. I should coast with no hesitation, which I don't feel any. It feels really good. Like really, really good. Yep, I'm coasting. Going a little faster than I probably should be going. Yeah, coasting and no hesitation. Nothing that feels like the wheel is holding up or anything. So yeah, I think we're good, guys. I think we're really, really good. Wow. So yeah, I think we're pretty good. No issues, no check engine light. I did have a check engine light, or not check engine light, but it was embedded. It was I think it was for the body module, but I think it was because I unplugged the sensor before I unplugged the battery. I didn't unplug the battery first and then the sensor. So yeah. So when I went to hit the remote start, it wouldn't start with the remote. So, but when I started, there was no code, there was no check engine light. But then when I used my computer and went in deep inside, there was an actual body control module fault. But I think it was because I unplugged the wheel speed sensor before I unplugged the battery. So it was almost like a short, like I shorted something, because it was all powered up, and I just took the sensor apart without taking the negative terminal off before first, and I think it might have caused a short. Cleared it, it went away, no issues now. It's driving amazing. There's no hesitation in me in the riding. Even the brakes aren't even holding up or anything. With the brakes, the reason why I feel like it's not holding up is because I noticed that the pins was not squishing on one side. It would go and it would just stay. And when I took it off, the very tip of the pin didn't have any grease on it. So it was going down and then sticking. But then I could pull it and it would kind of move a little bit. But then when I took it off, there was literally, it was bone dry on the tip. There was no grease on the tip. So I cleaned it off. I put some of that chromatic grease on there, got it all coated up in there, got the tip on there, and it was nice and squishy. So I took the other one off, did the exact same thing, nice and squishy. We're good. We're dialed. The car's at the temperature. We're driving and riding, and it's coasting like it was doing when I first got it, and we're good. I do have one more for the passenger side, but it doesn't need it. Everything is fine on the passenger side, so we're replacing it. Would just be replacing it just to replace it. So what I'm going to do is just leave it alone. I may do it later, but I'm not doing it right now because it doesn't need it. All I really wanted to get taken care of was the actual driver side one. So now we're good, and we're good to go. So let me park real quick and drop this thing off, and then I think we should be good. All right, guys, and just like that, we are done. Everything is good on the truck. Rolls really good, stops really good. Everything has been redone, and really not bad. No more hesitation. I feel like if it's rolling like it's supposed to. I think that was the issue. Definitely was the issue was the hub. I think it was just because it was just old, and it was also the heat from when I had the issue with the brakes, and also when I hit the curb too. So I think it was a multiple of things. Me hitting the curb before I did the brakes, and the brakes was heating it up, causing it to deteriorate a lot more, and it just went from there. So getting the brakes fixed and then getting the hub replaced, I think that made it a nice good roll. Like I said, I do have the second one for the other side, but I'm not going to replace the other side because it doesn't need it. It's perfectly fine. It's rolling perfectly, no issues. I'm not going to mess with it. I could replace it just for good measure, but really honestly, I'll just keep it on the side as a secondary just in case I need to replace it, and then I'll actually have it and I can just go knock it out and do it. And then I'm going to keep the actual sensor cable from the old one and discard the old one, and keep the cable just in case that ever gets snapped or ripped. I won't have to go to the store or have to go online and buy another one. I'll actually have one already there ready to go for hopefully for either side, but at least just for the driver's side if anything happens to it. But guys, that's it. The video, everything is good. I hope you guys liked it. Please give me a comment. I will put a link in the description for that hub removable tool. That was a really good tool to find. You can't find that tool anywhere but online. eBay sells it, Amazon sells it. I got it from Amazon because it got it to me the very next day. So and it really wasn't expensive. So I'll put a link in the description for that if you guys want to get that and have that for your vehicle. It can be used on any other vehicle. It doesn't have to be used on just this type of hub. It can be used for any hub. So just keep that in mind as well. It's not just particularly for one particular vehicle, and it can be used for multiple vehicles. But guys, thank you very much for watching. You guys have a good and blessed day, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next fix. Until then, peace.